Despite how much human civilization has advanced, despite all the artificial intelligence systems we now have, despite how many PhDs, masters, or general degrees some people may have, there is one thing we can never get away from. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, in some cave, in some part of the world, a dirty, unshaven, bedraggled human, with plaque-infested teeth that would make any modern-day dentist cringe, and hair that would make any hairdresser run for cover, where this human only knew single grunts as a language, but somehow, this human discovered something ingenious. In fact, something so ingenious and remarkable, that this discovery is probably one of the main reasons that humans have been able to progress from then on. This remarkable discovery was how to make a fire. Imagine today, if we saw this unacceptable and uneducated, in terms of today's standards, human in front of us. Society would surely throw every single prejudice and more at this person. Yet what this human had was something that no book, piece of paper, or social class can give you. This human had common sense. More so, survival common sense. This person figured out not only how to start a fire, but the value of that heat energy for warmth, for light, and for protection. Having fire-starting equipment is therefore obviously a no-brainer. You cannot only rely on a box of matches or a lighter. These will fail at some point. Remember that in a bug-out situation, fire can assist all the rules in the rules of three. Fire can be used as a safeguard, it can provide you with a means of staying warm, it can be used for cooking, it can be used to boil water and to make it safe, and yes, it can even be used to test a confined space for oxygen deficiency. Your fire-starting kit should include waterproof matches. These are handy and quickly deployable in a situation where you need a flame fast. Then there is the ferrocerium rod fire starter, also known as fire steel or the magnesium fire starter. The fire steel essentially creates sparks to light up your tinder, whilst the magnesium fire starter lights the magnesium shavings that you create, which then flames up the tinder. Then there are some homemade solutions. One would be good old petroleum jelly, commonly referred to as Vaseline. And a pack of cotton wool balls for each bug-out bag. Whichever the brand of cotton wools or petroleum jelly you buy, ensure it is labeled as 100% cotton and 100% petroleum jelly. So other than you possibly needing the petroleum jelly for other situations, hopefully only good ones, the petroleum jelly, even though petroleum, is not flammable when in the form of jelly. The cotton wool ball itself, when not wet, will burn when sparked, but this flame will die out quickly in a matter of seconds. However, when you rub some petroleum jelly onto the cotton ball, two things will happen. One is that you now have a cotton ball that is waxy, and, two, when it receives a spark, the burning cotton wool will cause the jelly to heat up. Because you had rubbed the jelly into the cotton wool fibers, the jelly has now nowhere to go, and thus it will be heated up by the cotton wool flame, and then the jelly itself will give off petroleum vapors. These petroleum vapors will then ignite, and becomes the flame you now see. So, it is no longer the cotton wool burning, instead, it is the gaseous vapors from the petroleum jelly, not the jelly itself, that is alight. This prolongs the flame, allowing you time to use the now flaming cotton ball as an ignition source to get a real fire going. Once the jelly is exhausted from the cotton wool, that is, it is no longer producing vapors, the flame will die out. You can either store the cotton wool balls in its original form in a Ziploc bag, and likewise keep the petroleum jelly still in its container, in case you need it as an ointment for whatever purpose, and again, hopefully only good purposes, or you can pre-saturate the cotton balls with the jelly and store it in a Ziploc bag. But, do not oversaturate the cotton wool balls. There has to be dry spots on the cotton for it to catch that first spark from your fire starter. Another item to keep as part of your fire starter kit is a set of magic birthday candles. Yes, you heard me correctly. These magic birthday candles are the ones that reignite after they are blown out. Hopefully you will not be using them to celebrate your next birthday whilst still in a bug-out situation. Magic birthday candles will be a great help during windy conditions when you are trying to get a real fire going. Once they start to burn, these candles are essentially designed not to extinguish when blown out. This is due to the tiny bits of magnesium that are reignited by the still hot candle wick, which then causes the reignition of the paraffin vapor that coats the wick. A good torch is another essential item for each bug-out bag. The reasons for having a torch are obvious, especially when it comes to lighting up your path and surroundings during a bug-out and beyond, for signaling, and in some cases for giving you that 3 seconds as a safeguard edge, which I will explain in a bit. There are many choices of torches available, and no doubt you probably have a few of them in your home already. For purposes of the bug out bag, you will need a torch that is rated for outdoor use, that is, it should be waterproof, rugged, and one that has a powerful beam. In other words, you will need to have a tactical torch. Unlike in days gone by when a good tactical torch was almost the size of a sawed-off shotgun, these days you can pick up an incredibly good one about the size of your hand. Whilst the outer casings of most torches are similar, you will have a choice of torch that either has a LED, halogen, incandescent, or xenon bulb. My advice: go for the LED torch. Light-emitting diode or LED torches are more energy efficient, and more cost-effective in the long run, and they certainly outlast the other types, sometimes by as much as 25 times longer. LED torches are also capable of producing more brighter and stronger beams because of the lumens capacity of each LED. More lumens means more light. You will need to have a torch that is ANSI rated to at least 600 lumens. The ANSI standard ensures you get a good torch and not a knockoff that fails you when you're about to face your worst fears. When choosing a torch, it should at least have an ingression protection, or IP rating for dust and water. The IP rating consists of 2 digits. The first digit indicates the resistance to dust ingress. This number may go up to 6, which will indicate that the torch is completely dustproof. The second digit indicates the level of resistance to water immersion. Usually this number may go up to 8, which if it does, then indicates that even if the torch is immersed in water deeper than a meter, and for more than 30 minutes, the torch remains waterproof. If you buy a torch without an IP rating, or a considerably low IP rating, then be afraid of things that go bump in the night. Some good tactical torches also come with the SOS option, for rescue purposes, or a strobe option to attract attention, like a beacon, or for disorientating a person to give you that 3-second safeguard to make an escape or defend yourself. Some torches even have the option of a red light. The red light assists with your night vision, for instance when you want to read a map, but at the same time still keeping your eyes adjusted to the dark. The red light also gives you the option of discreet movement without tripping over yourself. You may also want to invest in a good headlamp. A headlamp will provide you with a total hands-free option that always ensures that wherever your head turns, that area will be lit up, whereas a fixed body torch only lights up an area when your body turns. If you do get a headlamp, get one that also offers a red light option. Another recommended option to carry in your bug-out bag will be a glow stick. This is a handy item that can be utilized for static illumination and possible distress signaling. A glow stick is also called a light stick. It produces a bright, chemically created light which is created when the various chemicals that are stored separately inside the stick are catalyzed by a base chemical that is released when you break or crack the translucent plastic tube. This process of creating the light is called chemiluminescence. A glow stick is waterproof. Other than serving as a light source that requires no batteries, it can be used to mark off or identify your position, especially during a rescue search or when other family members need a location beacon. The glow stick is a single-use item. It is relatively inexpensive, lightweight, and does not take up much packing space. You should ensure that each bug-out bag has a few. The good old candle is still an invaluable tool to light up a static dark space, and it also saves on the use of other fire-starting tools. You should also keep at least 2 long wax candles in each bag. Unlike this guy who probably did it differently or not at all, the thing with shelter is that, whilst you look for one, or once you set up one, you will need to look after yourself. You could keep this old faithful in your bag, and, or even better, keep at least a pack of wet wipes in your bag. This will be handy not only for the call of nature, but also, for the full-body general wipe down. You will also need to pack other personal hygiene-related items. If you are making up your own individual packages comprising the originals of the various hygiene-related items, ensure that the items are small enough not to take up too much space. Also ensure that they are well sealed or contained so as not to damage each other or anything else in your pack. It is advisable to rather invest in travel-size hygiene products as these are already well sealed and well sized. It is often forgotten, but ensure that, whether needed or not, that you pack some female sanitary products. They are also handy for first aid applications. If you have a tactical bag, keep the personal hygiene items in a MOLLE pack, or if you have a technical bag, store the items in a small bag inside the main bag. This makes it easy to locate the items without rummaging through the entire bag. Having covered your basic shield items that you would need to set up a shelter, as well as having the ability to maintain warmth, and having the capacity to start a fire to cater for essentially all the rules of 3, the next video will focus on the basic food items, and how to consider what to pack versus why you need to pack it, versus your carry weight. Ultimately, the end goal is that whatever you have packed will need to meet the 72-hour bug-out bag criteria. Until then, get packing and remember: think prepared, act prepared, and be prepared.
Subscribe to the South African Prepper. Like and share my videos with your family, friends, and colleagues, since we are all in this together. Here you get real information, and fact-based insights and guidance. I don't do opinion or BS. Preparedness is not a hobby. It is a way of life that could save your life.